Right, you lot, let's talk Aston Villa, who have currently sent out Monchi, who all of you know is Emery's right-hand man when it comes to transfers, to scout two Barcelona stars. He attended a Barcelona game very recently. There's been a lot of links with one of the players in particular, and then the other one's kind of come out the woodwork. We're going to be talking about both of those players today, who are, of course, Jules K and Rafinha of Barcelona, where they would fit into the team, who they might be replacements for. I think that's an interesting conversation to have. We're going to dive into their stats, dive into how they would fit into the team, dive into who they replace, all of that good stuff. If you are going to be looking forward to Aston Villa transfer content, then be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, share this around all your Villa circles. Let's talk Villa transfers, baby. So first one we're going to look at right here is Jules K, as you can see on the screen. 25 years of old, a Frenchman weighing in. I was like a WWE announcer then. He's 180 centimetres tall, so a little bit on the shorter side if you think of centre-backs in the Premier League nowadays. Most of them are pushing 6'2", 6'3", but he's just under 6 foot tall. Right-footed, current market value of 65 million euros. So this will not be a cheap deal. This will not be a snatch and grab deal of a talent such as Morgan Rogers. He is an established centre-back both at Barcelona and for France in their national team. If we scroll down, you can see his main position is actually down here as right back. He can of course play centre-back, that's his position really, but you do wonder whether this is kind of a 2-in-1 in the sense of we maybe think that Kostan Adelajovic is ready to step up into a right back, a backup right back role. Maybe Conde's coming in as a right back with Konsa moving to centre back. Who knows? Obviously we are in the market for a right back. But if we scroll down this season, an average rating of 7.13 with nearly 2,500 minutes played in La Liga, 30 games, 27 starts, a goal and 2 assists. He obviously was at Sevilla when Monchi would have been there, so a player that he knows very well, and only 3 yellow cards as well this season. If you look at it, he's quite consistent as well. You look through those average ratings, very good stuff. 26 games for the French national team, and if we go down here to his season performance, this is the total. In terms of expected goals against centre-backs, he's actually in the 96th percentile, which is very good. Of course, only the 1 goal for him this season. His expected assists is high, 85.7%. You'd expect this from a defender at Barcelona. They knock the ball about so well. Their defenders get up the pitch. They're not afraid to push men forward and play that tiki-taka style of football. And you look at his successful passes, nearly 2,000. It puts him right at the peak of Mount Everest of La Liga defenders this season. A pass accuracy of 91% and 89 long balls on a 58.9 percentage. Puts him in the top 95% for all of those stats, which for a defender is amazing. You think of maybe how him and Pau Torres could lead Aston Villa's build-up play from the back, considering Pau Torres is a left footer and he's a right footer. That is very nice. You know, Emery likes to play out the back. We have a lot of possession with our defenders in the way we play, especially at home when we try and well, really away from home as well. When we try and slow the game down, our defenders knock it about. We're looking for openings. We're always looking to trigger the press and play out from the back. Hence why, you know, I think Konsa and Pau Torres are right up there at the top of percentiles for sort of touches for Premier League centre-backs. And that shows in the way that we play and the way that we build up. Some of the goals we scored this season, I think back to the goal against Arsenal when we beat them 1-0 at Villa Park. You know, that was a beautiful team goal from the back. We go down even more, again, touches, peak of Mount Everest again. He is constantly on the ball and making things tick. Winning 124 duels this season, 91st percentile for that. Right at the tippity top for aerial duels. So Koundé, anything I said about you being a bit small for a centre-back, I take back, because you clearly got hops and you're wearing the Air Jordans. He's winning 62% of those aerial duels. 9 blocks this season as well. 137 recoveries, putting him in the top 90th percentile. He would probably be worth every penny if it is a transfer that we could indeed pull off. Again, you look there, touches, aerial duels, right at the top in La Liga as well. This transfer has kind of come out of nowhere, but it is being reported by many news outlets, both in England and France. Spain. So there is a chance, like I say, a player that Monchi knows well, another La Liga player that Emery would probably mould into being one of the top ball-playing centre-backs in the league if he wouldn't come in with that title already. And again, there is a bit of turmoil at Barcelona in the regards of their wage budget is going to have to get slashed next season. But then there's a little bit of FFP at Aston Villa as well, which is where the second link has come out of nowhere as well, and that is this man on the screen, Rafinha. As you can see, shot attempts, goals and chances created, even touches, he's touching the top percentiles for those. But we all know him from his time at Leeds. He's still only 27 years of age, from Brazil, can play centre mid, right wing, left wing and striker, but primarily out on the right. Wears number 11 at Barcelona, where he has been for the last 2 years, and has a current market value of 51 million euros. An average rating this season of 7.33, only managing 15 starts, but getting 5 goals and 9 assists from those 15 starts, from those 1,200 minutes. He is making things count. But again, slightly out of favour at Barcelona. You can see from those starts, he's a little bit down the pecking order. Xavi has just announced that he is going to extend his stay as manager, so he's not really going to be breaking in next season, you'd imagine. Xavi has a way he likes to play. Rafinha doesn't fit into that at the moment. He, is a player of his calibre. You think Brazil, you got the World Cup coming up in 2 years. Is he going to want to be a bench player and risk missing out a starting spot in his prime at 28, 29 years old at the World Cup? Brazil, a lot of hope going into that tournament. Copa America as well. Maybe not. That's where Aston Villa could swoop in. We scroll down there, you can see he's actually put in some real stellar performances. Those 2 goals against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League as well, one to think about. But again, in terms of his total this season, it's going to be a bit lower. You go over to per 90, his stats are a lot higher. And actually, you know what? Because he's only got the 15 starts this season, we will actually go through his per 90 stats if I can get control of the mouse again. Goals, again, expected goals in the top 90th percentile, and goals per 90 in the top 80th as well. You can tell that from the amount of goal contributions he has in the minutes he has played in La Liga this season, shooting all the bloody time as well, not shy of a shot for sure. In terms of assists and expected assists per 90, again, another player at Mount Everest of La Liga, which is probably why we have become interested in him. He's accurate long balls, over 2 a game. Again, top 90th percentile, could add a different way to the way that Villa play, of course. Chances created, top 95th percentile. Successful crosses, 93rd percentile. And his cross accuracy at 35% is very, very good. A lot of the Premier League wingers sort of average around 30 to 33, so he is above the average for that. Again, with Ollie Watkins, who is a aerial threat, could add a different dimension to our game. Bailey, sometimes he does whip in crosses, but he's just going to want to cut in on that left foot and whip one into the far corner. Dribble success at 55%, averaging about 6 touches in the opposition box, only being dispossessed once every 90 minutes effectively, so once every 180 minutes. Isn't a bad little stat. I wish I could dribble with the ball at my feet like that. And again, not afraid to get stuck in defensively per 90, winning a lot of aerial duels, getting nearly an interception a game, 5 recoveries a game, winning 53% of his duels as well. But that isn't what he'll get brought in to the team to do. So that is the 2 players that we have been linked with. Personally, I can only see Koundé working for us. But now let's get into where I think they would fit into the team and who they could be replacing with current transfer rumours circulating around Aston Villa. So first off, Jules Koundé, right-footed centre-back who can also play right-back. What comes to your mind? Ezri Konsa. Is he leaving Aston Villa? Absolutely not. I think Ezri Konsa is going to be a very important player for us for a long time. You guys know he's on the back of my Aston Villa shirt. He's one of my favourite Aston Villa players. I really, really rate him highly. But the one that I would be interested in looking at is a current Diego Carlos. I say current, I meant a certain Diego Carlos. We all know him, powerhouse, brick, poo house, and a good defender, don't get me wrong. But he struggled with injuries at Aston Villa so far. He is now pushing 30, and he is currently linked with Serie A outfit AC Milan. And interestingly enough, AC Milan, Inter Milan, those types of clubs being linked with the likes of John Duran as well. Looks like they might have been scouting Villa and maybe they want to come and take a couple of our players. Now, I think we would demand a relatively high fee for Diego Carlos. I could see anywhere between the 20 to 30 million pound mark for him. Again, he is 30, he's in his prime, he's a physical specimen, so I don't think he's going to be slowing down anytime soon. He's put in man of the match performances against the likes of Arsenal recently this season, so we would be demanding a high fee. But you think of Koundé, fits the mould of an Unai Emery centre-back a lot better than Diego Carlos. Diego Carlos has a lot of positives. With the ball at his feet, he's a bit erratic. His passing just... I mean, I understand that the geezer's like 3% body fat and still weighs like 110 kilograms. But how much muscle does he have in his legs? Because every time he passes the ball, he is pinging it at about 100 miles an hour. And he has been suspect before of playing dodgy balls into the midfield, putting our midfielders under pressure. You know, it's not his strong point, effectively, having the ball at his feet. So I think Koundé would be a natural replacement for him. I don't know where that leaves Ezri Konsa. Perhaps we're going to give up on a right-back this season and maybe just trust Konsa and, like I say, Costa to do a job down that right-hand side if we were to move Matty Cash on. So that's the replacement for him. Now, Rafinha, I don't really see the link. Now, this one was a bit more tentative. I only saw it a couple of times on Twitter. I thought it would be interesting to debate. You think about our right-handed side options right now, you think of Bailey and you think of Diaby. I fully expect us to go in for a striker in the summer, so I doubt that Diaby will be having to play that up-front role anymore. So you have two elite wingers. Diaby we've just signed for 40 million plus, and Leon Bailey has probably been our second best player this season behind Ollie Watkins. I think it's 10 goals and 9 assists in the league, and he has been an absolute revelation, still playing for us at the moment despite having heavy knee strapping. He's playing for the badge, and I think he'll have a big part to play next season in Europe especially, as well as the Premier League. So Rafinha, I don't know where he fits in. I don't see Bailey leaving the club, I don't see Diaby leaving the club, and do you want to overload that right wing spot? Perhaps you look at him being able to play on the left. We only have Morgan Rogers at the moment, who can also play in a variety of other roles as well. John McGinn has settled in so well to that centre mid spot. I think it's going to be a real headache for who comes into that spot. Perhaps we sell Douglas Luiz and it's Kamara and McGinn in the middle with Tielemans as that rotation option. And then it's Morgan Rogers and Rafinha as our left wing options. I'm not sure. Comment down below what you think. But I don't think Rafinha really fits into this team for me at the moment. Koundé, I would absolutely love. I think he's one of the premier ball-playing centre-backs / right-backs in the world right now. I think he's going to go on to have a fantastic career, and I hope it's at Aston. But that was the worst wing I've ever done. That was the worst wing I've ever done. You know what? That's it. The video's over. That's the worst wing I've ever done. But if you guys did enjoy, of course, leave a like. Comment down below what you think about Koundé and Rafinha. Do you think they would come into the team? The Villa chopping block video 2 on Clement Longley will be out soon as well, talking of Barcelona players. And there's been a couple of other links that we will be going through very, very shortly. Enjoy your day, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Up the Villa, and be nice to everyone.